Thanks for watching News 6 Getting Results. Here are tonight's Florida lottery numbers.
At News 6, you can see the commitment to breaking news. We don't stop until everything you need to know has been uncovered. We're taking you places no one else can go, so you can really see what's happening. We do this for you. Breaking news on News 6.
Developing new local crime crackdowns, the biggest changes on the way. Then, NASA's new efforts to learn more about unidentified objects and the new bill that could cost electric vehicle owners.
Plus, dangerous conditions at the beaches from Hurricane Lee. I'll pinpoint how much longer it will be impacting the coast and those late-day storms you can expect tomorrow at 11.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 11 p.m.
Now at 11, a man linked to a local crime scene, and police say the way he walks gave him away. Candace. And we are continuing to watch the progress of Hurricane Lee, even though it's hundreds of miles away. Still continue to rough up our surf. I'll have more on that, including a look at your weekend forecast.
But first, the man on trial for the death of a Daytona Beach police officer takes the stand in his own defense.
I felt in that moment there was no other way I can get out of this situation.
Othel Wallace claiming he shot Officer Jason Rayner in self-defense. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Emily McLeod. Ginger Gadsden has the night off. Closing arguments wrapped up about 3 hours ago. News 6's Treasure Roberts joins us in studio to walk us through the final days of testimony. Treasure.
Yeah, Emily, Matt, they did wrap up closing arguments a few hours ago, and now it will be up to the jury to decide what Othel Wallace is charged with. State prosecutors are pushing for first-degree murder. The judge wants the jury back at 9 tomorrow morning for instructions. He suggests they bring an overnight bag in case deliberations are longer than a day. Emily.
All right, thank you, Treasure. We are constantly posting updates from this case on the homepage of clickorlando.com. There you can find reporter Molly Reed's updates as she has been inside the courtroom all week. Now at 11, it's been a little more than a month since Governor Ron DeSantis named a new top prosecutor for Orange and Osceola counties.
State Attorney Andrew Bain, who replaced ousted Monique Worrell, gave a 30-day update today. He says his office has hired 7 new prosecutors with about 75 years of prosecutorial experience among them. He also says he's reinstituting mandatory minimum sentencing for armed felons. Says his office will consistently pursue the death penalty where warranted, something he says the previous administration did not do. And a big one. He says grand juries will now weigh in on cases involving police use of force. News 6's Troy Campbell is live outside the courthouse downtown with more on how these investigations will evolve. Troy.
State Attorney Andrew Bain says that the new policy, this will apply to all of the use of force cases they have, not just officer-involved shootings. We spoke with the attorney who represents a family in an ongoing case where they allege Osceola County deputies shot and killed their loved one to get his reaction on the policy change. And Bain says there still will be several more policy changes later on announced, including their diversion program. Also, at this point, it's still unclear if or when a grand jury will hear the case for the target shooting in Kissimmee from 2022, as the prosecuting attorney is the only one who could bring that case to a grand jury. Live in Orlando, Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, thank you, Troy. The National Weather Service issuing warnings that impact every single beach in Central Florida. Today, Hurricane Lee, hundreds of miles to our east, not expected to touch land in Florida, but it is churning up the waters off of our coast.
Now today there was concern of waves up to 8 feet along with some really dangerous rip currents. Going into the water for any reason at all is strongly discouraged. News 6's Candace Campos is in for Tom tonight. Candace, how long are these warnings in effect?
Now we are going to see conditions improve as we head into the weekend as Lee continues to pull away from the southeast. All right, as we look here at satellite pictures showing where Lee is moving, we have a cold front that's going to keep us relatively unsettled this weekend, but it's acting as that roadblock, that protector, as of course Lee continues to stay off in the Atlantic. But look at some of the wave heights kind of around where Lee is. We're still talking about out there about 30-foot seas. Closer to home, we're still talking about rip current risk still extremely high, and that's going to be the case for the next couple of days. But again, the worst of it will be tomorrow with gradual improvement as we head into the weekend. Matt.
Thank you, Candace.
Developing at 11, Orlando police giving new insight into how detectives nabbed the man accused of defacing several murals outside an LGBTQ+ outreach center.
Yeah, surveillance video was key in making this arrest. The full video has not been released, but several images snapped from the footage were included in that arrest affidavit we got. So to get you up to speed, Matthew Robinson facing 3 counts of criminal mischief for spray painting this at the center late last month. Now, police say Robinson got out of a blue car with some unique identifiers, like a big rust stain on the roof. Detectives were able to identify him by running that car's make and model through law enforcement databases. And during a traffic stop last week, an officer seized his phone, questioning him about the graffiti, and then letting him go after taking video of the way he walked away. This is interesting. So they then matched his gait, the way he walked, to the gait of the man in the surveillance video, which apparently is pretty distinctive. They say he drags his left leg while his right leg takes a big step forward. Also, they found photos of the mural damage from the night of the incident in the trash file on Robinson's cell phone. Some good police work there. Robinson's arrest, probably not the last. The leader of the center says there are other people seen in that video as well.
A heartbreaking story out of Volusia County tonight. A couple is facing charges after a child showed up to school with cockroaches in her backpack. A teacher alerted law enforcement, and tonight Samantha Acker and her fiance Christopher Rounds are facing 4 counts of child neglect, one of each child living in their Deltona home. Deputies responding to the home and say that it was in bad shape. They described it as being completely infested with cockroaches and other bugs. They also say the AC wasn't working, and it appears the kids' bed sheets hadn't been washed in some time. The children are staying with friends of the family tonight.
A new traffic pattern for people driving through Point Siena tonight. The intersection of San Miguel Road and Laurel Avenue is officially a 4-way stop now. It comes, though, after 3 young kids and their grandma were killed in a crash almost 2 weeks ago. Investigators say a 15-year-old driver without a learner's permit ran the existing stop sign on Laurel Avenue and slammed right into the family's car. Crews installed the stop signs on San Miguel this morning after calls for change from the mother of the victims and other people in the community as well. Trooper Steve took Results 1 to the intersection to see how that 4-way stop is getting results in this community.
Now, it does take a little bit more for these signs to work. It takes drivers paying attention. So what was once just a simple drive for San Miguel will now require a stop in all directions.
San Miguel at Laurel is not the only intersection in Point Siena that could see some safety upgrades. Leaders are also surveying some other roads that might need some attention too.
We're taking you to another story out of Volusia County where Bethune-Cookman University is kicking off phase 2 of its athletic facility upgrades. The school hosted a fundraiser to collect money for its upcoming project. In total, BCU says they raised more than $120,000. Their plans include constructing a new football locker room, an administration building, and brand new equipment, estimated to cost $2.5 million. The Wildcats are playing against Miami tonight in South Florida. Our News 6 sports director, Jamie Say, we'll have the highlights coming up in sports.
Well, some questions about UAPs. You and I would know them as UFOs. Has pushed NASA to create a new first-of-its-kind job.
We don't know what these UAP are, but we're going to try to find out.
Plus, driving around without paying for gas could end up costing you here in Florida. The new fee electric vehicle drivers could be facing.
I was looking for Mulder. They're in the X-Files. They're on the panel. I didn't see them. All right. Temperatures at least at this point in time, and still in the low 80s. It is a warm night. We still got a lot of cloud cover overhead. But what can we expect as we head into your Friday? And, of course, that all-important weekend. But a little hint, though. It has to do with a cold front. I'll have more on that in just a bit.
Candace Campos with the X-Files references.
That was a good one. That was quick.
How old are you, Candace? You're watching News 6 at 11. Live on a Thursday night. We're getting results for Dr. Phillips, Winter Springs, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Rubenstein Law.
We love our News 6 insiders. We appreciate that.
You become an insider and you win.
Being born and raised in Central Florida, I have seen this community grow and grow and grow. All of those changes lead to questions. What are they building over there? Where's the new hospital going? How many new jobs are they bringing? That's why I'm getting out into the community to meet you, find out what questions you have, and report on the issues you need answers to in a series we're calling Boomtown. So let's get results for Central Florida together, weekdays at 7 p.m. on News 6.
Live with Matt Austin, Ginger Gadsden, weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells, sports with Sports Director Jamie Say, and special reports from the investigators. You're watching WKMG, getting results at 11 p.m.
So NASA says it's attempting to uncover the mystery of UFOs. They will call them UAPs to not freak you out.
All right, here we go. Today, the space agency revealed new findings from a study investigating these unexplained events in the sky. Based on their results, experts say they found no evidence of these occurrences coming from alien life forms. This report came from scientists appointed to examine how NASA can contribute to the scientific understanding of these objects. Now, although there's no physical evidence yet, NASA officials say they're using all the technology possible to conduct their research.
We will use AI and machine learning to search the skies for anomalies, as we have been searching the heavens and will continue to search the heavens for habitability. And NASA will do this transparently. So while today is a significant step for NASA, it's certainly not our final step.
To create smartphone apps to report sightings in the future. And before heading out on the water, a new state bill will require you to take a safety course. It is mandatory under Florida law for anyone born after 1988 to pass a boater safety course. But the proposed bill will require everyone to take the class. And authorities say it won't mean anything if you don't show proof. The course takes a few hours to complete. Plus, it'll be easier to prove you passed. There will be a designation on your driver's license.
Electric car owners in Florida might have to pay an extra price for their car soon. So get this, a newly filed bill would require drivers to pay a $200 registration fee annually in the state. That's on top of existing fees, and it could rise to $250 by 2029. Plug-in hybrid cars will have to pay $50 every year. And you want to know why this is happening? Well, the goal is to make up for lost gas tax dollars. The legislative session begins in January.
SpaceX is holding off on launching a Falcon 9 rocket tonight. The company scrubbed the mission just hours before liftoff. SpaceX is looking to send more Starlink internet satellites into orbit. Their new launch goal is tomorrow night at 11:38 p.m. If it happens, we'll bring it to you live on air and online at clickorlando.com. Well, Candace, they scrubbed the launch tonight. What's it looking like for tomorrow? Do we know any?
Yeah, well, the biggest concern for tonight was just the waters were so rough. It was hard to get that booster back down to the drone ship. So you need everything to kind of work all at once, hence why it's called rocket science, right? But the good news is that later on we have the chance for those launches later on in the evening, the better shot we have. So here's kind of the big picture we've got going on. We're watching a cold front. I told you I'd talk about a cold front. It's not going to be bringing us cold air just yet. But that means that they're starting to come down. That's good news, right? Looking at Hurricane Lee out there, officially a Category 1 hurricane as it continues to track northward. Will be clipping parts of Newfoundland possibly by Saturday and Sunday. Currently has sustained winds of 85 miles per hour as it is now just crossing, or I should say just passing by Bermuda. Thankfully, no direct landfall there. But back here at home, this front, by the way, which is the reason why Lee is staying off to sea, is because of that front. And that front's actually going to be impacting our weather forecast a little bit. So as we look here, that's kind of the general picture. This is going to keep us pretty unsettled for the next couple of days, hence why rain chances are a little higher than usual. We're talking up to about 70%. But look what happens by Friday morning. This front continues to sag a little further south. Not south enough to rush in some cooler air. It's going to turn almost stationary, kind of staying right over the state, keeping things, again, a little more on the soggier side. But then there is a chance, latest models showing that we could finally get this all cleared out by Monday. Rain chances will go down and maybe won't be as hot and humid as it has been. It won't last long, but hey, we might have a little bit of a break. Here's a little closer look. This is early tomorrow morning, could be dealing with some cloud cover overhead. A couple scattered showers, but where that instability kind of lies will be later on into the evening. And as of now, still showing that bullseye, just like it was today, throughout areas of Marion, Lake Sumter County. Kind of in this zone with the highest chance of those scattered showers, some rock and thunderstorms. We had an aerial flood advisory today because the problem with the colliding sea breezes, they don't move much. So when you have equal east and equal west, they kind of battle it out over the same area and kind of falls apart. So of course, just be aware that if you had a lot of rain yesterday, or at least today, we are going to see another round of rain in that same zone for tomorrow with a couple scattered showers out over the coastal waters very early Saturday morning. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for tonight.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
We talked about it in the 7 p.m. show. Temperatures are not cooling down. We have a lot of humidity still in place. Some of that cloud cover will be keeping temperatures nearing 80 along the coastline, down to only 75 in Orlando. 73 will be your overnight low. And then for tomorrow, warming up near normal, mid-80s along the coast. That onshore breeze will make it feel nice. Just do be aware. High surf advisory, small craft advisory, any advisory that can be out there along the coast is now issued because of, again, Lee churning up the surf the way it is. And as we get results here, the full 7-day forecast, you can see that temperatures are not, I wouldn't call it cooler, but a little more cloud cover from that weak front. We'll keep temperatures near 90, but rain chances staying pretty steady for the next couple of days.
All right, thank you, Candace. Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Pick 2, 3, and 5. Pick 3, 5, 0, and 4. Pick 4, 4, 6, 8, and 0. Pick 5, 6, 6, 9, 4, 5. And the fireball is 0.
Fantasy 5 is 22, 4, 32, 13, and 35.
And Cash for Life, 9, 17, 39, 48, and 59. The cash ball is 3. Good luck. Well, the popular boy band is making a huge comeback.
Yeah,
that's
people
right.
are clapping
Get excited.
in the studio. The reunion fans have been waiting 2 decades for. And the dangers of a specific toy has Target issuing a recall, why officials say parents should keep it away from kids.
Hey, Central Florida, join me as we pay tribute to our veterans and reaffirm the city's commitment to bringing our heroes home as part of National POW MIA Day. This year's event will feature keynote speaker, Army Specialist Shoshana Johnson. For more information, visit orlando.gov/POW-MIA.
Pretty major recall alert for parents tonight involving a toy officials say is a choking hazard for kids. So Target's recalling more than 50,000 water bead kits. The name of the product is right there on your screen. CPSC says 1 child died. Another was hurt swallowing the beads. Affected kits include those sold in stores and online from March to November of last year. To learn more about how you can get a refund, go to clickorlando.com. Well, it looks like NSYNC did not actually say bye, bye, bye.
Oh, that's a good one. The Orlando-based boy band is getting back together after 22 years apart. Today, they released a tease to their brand new song called Better Place. It's for the upcoming movie Trolls Band Together. Now, this is the first time all 5 members have recorded a song together since their glory days in 2001. Gosh, that's really hard to believe. The film's website says the song will be released on Friday, September 29th. It's a big deal.
They're going to go out on tour, and they're going to make
so.
a lot of money eventually.
Yes,
I would imagine.
They better. They better. All right. Sports director Jamie Say, this is a big deal, but we got big games tonight and
for sure
too.
Yeah,
for sure.
The Hurricanes looking at 3-0 tonight. Huh?
Yeah, the Canes hosted Bethune-Cookman. Miami put a big number on the scoreboard tonight. Highlights from South Florida are coming up next, plus high school football on this Thursday night. There's a big one between Jones and Edgewater. We also checked out Seminole, Evans, and more, so keep it here.
The Prep Player of the Week is sponsored by Sonic. Sonic. Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks.
This is not a betting show, but I will say earlier tonight,
Yes.
I said take Bethune-Cookman with the points.
Yeah, the Hurricanes were favored by more than 50. Bethune-Cookman did cover.
There we go.
It covered. Tonight's game at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium was not expected to be close. And it wasn't. The 22nd ranked Hurricanes scored at will pretty much against Bethune-Cookman tonight. Quarterback Tyler Van Dyke adds to his impressive statistics, too.
He doesn't look like a high school kid.
No, he's a big dude.
That looks like a grown man.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. Also in the NFL tonight, Eagles beat the Vikings on Thursday Night Football.
All right. Thank you, Jane.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. You can find all of tonight's stories, plus breaking news and podcasts on News 6 Plus.
Hope you have a great night. We'll see you on Friday.